Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel Health Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you've seen and if you want to see more. Coming up in today's episode, Channel 4's showing of the Super League clash between Leeds Rhinos and Warrington Wolves, as well as reviews of the Betfred Challenge Cup Saturday games, 4 of, and my review of Toulouse versus Huddersfield Giants as the French club enter Super League for the first time. So it's the first game of the day, and it's Leeds Rhinos facing off against the Warrington Wolves, with a much changed sides and coaching staff for Warrington Wolves, and also some new starters for Leeds Rhinos. Let's have a look at the teams. So the Leeds side have Pryor, Leeming and Tetevano leading the line in the forwards, with James Bentley coming in for his debut, with Reece Martin in the second row, Cam Smith at loose forward, as well as Aidan Caesar and Richie Myler being in the backs due to the halfbacks due to Blake Austin not being available due to a ban. Then we see the debutant David Fosatua on the right wing, with Briscoe in his centre, Liam Sutcliffe and Ash Hanley, and then at fullback is Dan Walker. Mikkel Edulewski and Brad Dwyer, Gannon and Donaldson all are on the bench. And now for the Warrington side, we have Ratchford, Charnley, Peter Matautia on debut, Connor Wrench comes in at the other centre, with Matty Ashton at left wing. Gareth Widdop and George Williams are in the acting halfback positions, with Mulhern, Darryl Clark, Mike Cooper, Ben Curry, Oliver Holmes on his debut as well, and Davis in at loose forward. Joe Philbin, Joe Clark, Joe Bullock and Dan Walker all are involved from the bench. So from the kick-off, it has all been Leeds in terms of possession and territory, and Leeds start their set just in their own half after great work throughout the entire first 12 minutes. But Warrington get their hands on the ball, and Leeds are turning up the pressure. And Warrington, while on their own 20-metre line, decide to spread the ball left. And it goes through the hands through Cooper, Widdop, Curry, and to Connor Wrench, who offloads the ball in the tackle and releases Matty Ashton for a stretch. He draws in the winger for Satua and passes to Widdop, who goes in to score in the corner. Ratchford was unsuccessful with the 2, but it was the start that Warrington wanted. They are 4-0 up. The problems did mount up though for Leeds after this, as Leeds are in trouble after a incident in a tackle. A swinging arm from Bentley sees him called over to the referee, and after a little bit of discussions, it is a red card for James Bentley, as he describes that it's a closed fist and a swinging arm in the tackle, and sends the Leeds man on his debut off. But not to be deterred, Leeds come roaring back. Unfortunately though, it's a loss of Richie Myler due to injury, and this brings Brad Dwyer onto the field and puts some speed behind the play of the ball. And after a set restart, this comes to the fore. Brad Dwyer, you see at acting halfback there, looking left, sets up the play, and he jumps out the tackle and passes it to Zane Tetevano, who forces his way over for a Leeds score to bring the scores to 6 points to 4 after Reece Martin adds the extras. And then in the 26th minute, Leeds are back in again. It's another short ball from Brad Dwyer, this again close to the line, and the running man at this point is Matt Pryor, who goes over the line. And after the video referee checks it and confirms the try, Martin adds another 2 for a 12 points to 4 scoreline in Leeds' favour. Warrington though are starting to get back into the game, and a bomb into the corner sees the chasing Ben Curry hits a fantastic hit on David Fosatua as he's catching the ball. all grounded and all deemed to be fair. There is a hint that there was a shoulder that went into the jaw, but he's attempting to wrap his arms, he's attempting to tackle the man. The man's feet are on the floor as he's catching it. He's already got the ball in his grasp. It's a fair tackle in my part. The winger, though, is still a bit dazed, I think, at this point, as he puts the ball down with Warrington deep in the Rhinos' territory a couple of tackles later. Unfortunately, it comes to naught for Warrington as Widdop gets to the kick on the last, and it all goes wrong. A few moments later, Brad Dwyer is sin-binned for a late hit on Widdop after the ball has gone. Leeds are down to 11. The refs and the Rlfc are stopping all these late hits because it can cause some serious injury. This means with 11 defenders, Leeds are a bit in trouble on the wide edges, and it comes to a 4 as Warrington, from in their own half, decide to attack the Leeds left edge. The ball is spread right by Warrington and goes through the hands, and a half break by Williams finds Oliver Holmes, who passes it out wide to Josh Charnley, who, instead of just putting down the ball, goes closer towards the sticks for a better attempt for Stefan Rashford. Rashford adds the 2 for a 12-10 scoreline, and just before half-time there's a half break for Oliver Holmes. He's getting the ball on that right edge once more, and he's getting tackled, and he tries to release it out to his winger Charnley once more. But unfortunately it all goes wrong, and this goes out of touch. All after the hoots had gone. It would have been a blow if Leeds had conceded that early in the that late in the first half. But we go into half time with Leeds still ahead at 12 points to 10. So we go into the second half with the ball in hand for Warrington, but nothing comes of it, unfortunately, and Leeds return to having 12 men on the pitch, and they decide to attack, and they reach the final tackle with the ball in the hands of Cruz Leeming from dummy half, who jumps out and places a great kick into the corner for Ash Hanley to chase, who gets there. You see all the scuff marks, you're thinking, have they put it down in the right position or anything like that? The video referee is called. The decision is made, and it's a try for Leeds Rhinos, with the scores going to 20 points to 10 due to 18 points to 10 due to Martin with a great conversion from the left edge. Not long after that, it was Warrington who was down to 12 men due to a sin binning. Leeds running the ball by Donaldson, and a swinging arm was given against Oliver Holmes. But unlike in the first half with Bentley, the referee made it clear that the two incidents were completely different, to the chagrin of the Leeds Rhinos fans. Cruz Leeming asked the referee why that wasn't a red card. The referee's description, he said it was an open hand swing by Bentley which saw him see the red. Sorry, a closed hand swing by Bentley that saw him the red. Oliver Holmes was open hand, and it was a secondary contact with the head by Holmes that saw him get a yellow card. Warrington, though, get a penalty on the 63rd minute after a late hit on Widdop by Pryor, who was attempting to make a tackle. That's why he didn't get binned, and the wire run it, which results in a 6 again, close to the Leeds line. Walker passes it to the Fielding for the play, and this is where the 6 again came in, and the shout came out early as Warrington decided to run it deep on the left to the right edge, and Josh Charnley waltzes in for his second try of the game. Rashford adds another fantastic kick to make the scores 20 points to 22. Sorry, 20 points to 16 to Leeds Rhinos still. And at this point, I'm reminded that with the scores level at full time, it's golden point extra time period. Well, who's going to be the winner? But here on the 75th minute, it's Warrington who score again. The effort from Warrington has paid dividends, and a little bit of luck in their own half as Batalcia fumbled a kick backwards but still able to keep hold of it. Sees Warrington back on the attack deep in Leeds territory. The ball is shifted left by Williams, who finds Widdop to Rashford, who passes it to Connor Wrench, who bursts through a couple of tackles to score to level up the score lines at 20 points to 20 with the kick to come. There was a small hint of a forward pass from Rashford to Connor Wrench, but on the multiple different angles, if you were watching it live, you couldn't really tell. You'd have to fall back into the momentum rule. It was unlike the Saints one, where that was blatantly forward and everyone's seen it. That's why Sky didn't cover it. But now it's left to Stefan Rashford to go for the extras. And I'll just let this one play with the noise.
Like you thought that the chance had gone then, but I knew that if they could up their ante in the defence, they'd get another crack at them. This is a massive kick. The Warrington fans will tell us here. Rashford to nudge Warrington in front against 12-man Leeds. Smashing kick. Here he comes, right-footed, sends it on its way. It's gone. The reaction of the Warrington fans says it all. Wow.
There was still 5 minutes left for Leeds to get involved, but they left it to the final minute as they were deep in the Warrington half, and they put a kick into the Warrington's 10-metre line, which was diffused and then some by Connor Wrench, who found a bit of a gap, and the gap was opening further and further, and he had Matty Ashton in support, and he tried to pass to him, but it was knocked on. You thought that was the end of it. No, Leeds have the ball back and they're deep in the wire half again, and the hooter is going. We've seen Caesar getting the ball and dinking the ball in behind the Warrington defence, but a cooler head gets the ball this time in Ben Curry, who takes the tackle, and that leaves Warrington with the victory. So who's my man of the match? Well, you can see Cruz Leeming being right there. That gives it all the way, doesn't it? And he was the man of the match. First half, led the team around the block and kept them going even when they were down to 12 men. It was a great effort by him. And then in the second half, setting up the try with that kick. What a game he had. He was involved in everything that Leeds done going forward and in defence. It was excellent. He was the best player on the pitch. Rashford was a close second, I must admit. He was in about everything good about Warrington, and his kicking was on point. Not a problem there. But out of the two, Cruz Leeming. He was the best player on the pitch, and the captain of Leeds deserves every prop that he got from that game. I'm going to make a bold statement. Next season, he could be the best number 9 in the competition. So before we go into the second game of the Super League this weekend, there has been some games in the Betfred Challenge Cup round 3 that some people may not have picked up on. And there have been some humdinger of games. First of all, Loch Lane faced the Rochdale Hornets at their home ground with a couple of thousand in attendance in what was a very, very good game. Loch Lane's game with Rochdale Hornets ended with a 12 points to 24 victory for the Hornets. For much of the game, Loch Lane punched above their weight in conditions like we saw at Featherstone last Monday. However, it was a game the underdogs weren't able to pull something out this time, like they did against Rochdale Hornets near neighbours Oldham. But they put a great effort into the match. Tries from Duncan and Butler that were converted both by Fozzard kept the Hornets honest, but the Hornets went in at half-time 12 points to 18 up, with tries from Killen, Forshaw and Penkovic. Sheridan kicked 3 from 3 in the first half. Lock Lane's Siddons was sin-binned in the 20th minute, which helped Rochdale along the way. The second half was not just all Rochdale's, as Sheridan scored the only try of the second half. He also kicked a conversion and penalty, but Lock Lane threw everything they had at them in a stonking effort. Again, during the second half, Lock Lane helped the League One side out a little bit, as the Castleford-based side had Mawson sent off in the 65th minute. But despite this, Lock Lane gained lots of respect from the rugby league community, but not a fourth round tie, I'm afraid, as they went down 12 points to 28. The early over kickoff game was Rochdale Mayfield versus Doncaster Rlfc, and it went one way, unfortunately, as Rochdale were nilled at their home ground, the Rochdale Mayfield Sports Centre, 20 points to 0. And it wasn't all one way, to be honest, as in the 11th minute, Zach Bramman was sin-binned for a late hit on a Rochdale player. So it could have been so much better if Mayfield kept hold of the ball. But it was the Doncaster side that opened the scoring. We'll call them the Dons, as Greg Burns scored the first try for the Dons and Connor Robinson converting for a 6-0 lead on the 15th minute. In the 25th minute, forward Alex Holdstock scored off of Ben Johnson's kick near the post. It ricocheted into his hands and he scored near the post. And Robinson kicked the extras again. And half-time was reached with a 12-0 scoreline to Doncaster. Ben Johnson scored his own try just after half-time on the 42nd minute, but the kick was missed. So the scores were 16 points to 0. And after that, on the 66th minute for the final point scoring, Robbie Story forced his way over the try line from out wide. Rochdale were subject to some big defence from Doncaster as they aimed to nil their team. That was their incentive, nil their opponents. That was the incentive for the rest of the game, which they were happy to do so. And that completed the scoring, with Doncaster going on to play in the fourth round at home against Whitehaven. Our next game that we saw today was the Royal Navy hosting the York Acorn, and the Navy welcomed their rivals Acorn to the US Sports Ground in Portsmouth for the tie. Acorn are 265 miles away from their home as the crow flies, but coming to the game with high hopes. And it was a Navy that opened the scoring, with James Texeria going in under the post, which left Rhys Joel the easy shot to add the extras for a 6-0 lead. Shortly after this, the Acorns' Thomas Holder was sin-binned for the York side, and taking them to 12 men. But the 12 men went up the field, and Elliot Bulmer scored on the 22nd minute, but the conversion went wide for a 6-4 scoreline. And in the 27th minute, it sees the Navy in again as Danny Johnson goes in under the posts, and Callum Cone this time adds the extras. And we reach half-time with no further scoring, but a half-time score of 12 points to 4 to the Navy. There didn't seem to be any more scoring until the midway through the second half, as the Acorn came up with the goods as Josh Parker dived over the line in the right corner, deep out wide, but the kick again was missed, and it was still 12-8 to the Navy. The Navy responded with 10 minutes to go, as after a repeat set saw Sean Houghton burrow his way over from close range to score the third try for the Navy. Joel expertly kicked over to extend the lead to 18 points to 8. The Navy decided that they were on a roll at this point with 10 to go, as after a near miss where the right winger of the Navy, Mike Heldenby, almost got the ball down after a great kick into his corner, with no one else at home for the York Acorns, which was deemed to have been taken out on the full by the Navy winger. The Navy came again, and on the last inside the Acorns 10-metre line, the Navy had a grubber rebound off an Acorn defender to land at Matty Gaskell's hands, who dived over to score to make it 22 points to 8. Joel wasn't able to kick over the extras, but that was it. The Navy are through to the 4th round, and they go on to facing Batley at Batley. The biggest shock of the round was for the Scholars, London Scholars, as they got beat by the Hunslet Club Parkside, it by 28 points to 6 at their own home ground. The North West Counties League team put the League One team out of the cup for the first time, and Hunslet Club Parkside move on to round 4. I'd love to bring you all the scorers of the game, but no social media output has been put out there for either the Scholars or Hunslet Club Parkside, or even the RFL. You would have thought that they would have been covering this at least with a highlight show. I'm disappointed, but all I can say is well done to Hunslet Club Parkside, as they were another North West Counties League club in the 4th round. Now to our final game of the evening, as we have Toulouse opening up their account against Huddersfield Giants. Now here are the teams. First of all, Toulouse, as they have Tony Gigo, Elias Bergal, Guy Armitage, Junior Vivai, and the debutant Matty Russell in the back line. There's a rumour that Chris Hankinson's going in at number 6, with Lucas Albert at 7 in the halves. Joe Breverton, Lloyd White, and Roman Navarrete at the front row. Wigan and Widnes sandwich there, with Dom Pereiro, Andrew Dixon on debut, and James Cunningham at loose forward. Eloi Polissier, Justin Sangare, the forward that a lot of Super League clubs were looking at in pre-season, are on the bench, with Maxime Puech and Joseph Paulo. And for the Giants, Tuilola here starts at fullback, but I think he's going to keep switching with Ollie Russell or Theo Fage throughout the game, with the senior brothers, the twins, on each wing, 22 and 25, and Leroy Cudjoe and Jake Wardle in at the centres. We also see Russell and Fage, like I said, in the team, with a front row of Chris Hill, Danny Levi and Matty English, Hill and Levi on their debuts, Josh Jones and Chris McQueen in at second row, and Luke Yates at loose forward. Then there is Ollie Ashok-Bolt, who extended his contract. Joe Greenwood is on the bench with him. And Sebastian Ikahifo is back at the Giants, working with, this time, Ian Watson as the coach of the Giants. And to round it off, Owen Trout makes the Huddersfield bench. So the game kicks off and we're not even 90 seconds in even, as Matty Russell opens up the scoring for Toulouse. The ball goes down the left wing and the ball is passed to Junior Vai, who gets a fantastic round the defender pass in the tackle out to his left winger, and Russell scores the try. Unfortunately, Hankinson misses the extras and it's 4-0 to Toulouse. Then on the 20th minute mark, Toulouse have the ball deep in Huddersfield half and the ball goes out to Tony Gigot. And he kicks for the corner for his winger Bergal, who outstrips his fellow winger and seems to put the ball down in the in-goal area. It's checked by the video referee and it is given. And Toulouse are 8-0 up with kick to come, which Chris Hankinson adds the extras to do so, to make it 10-0 to the French side. 4 minutes later though, Huddersfield make a shock score as Danny Levi starts getting in and about the halves and running the show. And close to the line, Huddersfield are on about the third tackle and they find Luke Yates on a marauding run who breaks through the Toulouse line to score just left of the posts. It's let to Ollie Russell to add the 2, which he does, for a 10 points to 8 scoreline. Not long after that, from the kickoff, you think it was just a fluke, but that was only because the Huddersfield winger Lewis Innes messes up a catch off the restart. But after a great defensive set that forces Toulouse to stay in the half around the 35th minute mark, Huddersfield have the ball in the Toulouse half. And the ball goes through Trout, Lolahia, and Russell's hands to get to left winger Innes Senior to score his first try. And it's well in the corner, so Ollie Russell unfortunately misses that kick. The scores are now 10 points all. 2 minutes later, you'd think that Huddersfield were back in again, as a great play off a kick for Huddersfield from Ollie Russell again on the last is not cleaned up by Gigot, who makes a mess of it unfortunately, and Wardle puts the ball down in the in-goal area back on the left corner. The call is, the decision is sent up to the video referee. The referee gives the try on field, but a penalty is given near where the kick was made by Russell, as Lolahia was inside the 10 metres of the kick of the try scorer after being in front of the ball, so was deemed offside. So it's not given. Full stop. But it didn't take too long for Huddersfield to get back onto the scoreline. 39 minutes we're coming up to. Bit after that, to be honest, because of the hooter went. And Toulouse kicked the ball on the third tackle while camped on the Huddersfield line. Anything, you keep going your rampage until you find a gap to kick into on the last. You still had 2 tackles to play with. Anyway, Huddersfield actually reclaim the ball and work their way up the field. As the hooter goes, Huddersfield decide to throw the ball right, as they have an overlap on the right wing, and it leaves a 30-metre run for the other Innes Senior twin, Lewis Senior, to score his try. Ollie Russell adds the extras, and that's how we go in at half time, with the scores at 20 points to 10. Apologies, 10 points to 16 in Huddersfield's favour. So we move on to the second half, and it's a bit scratchy, to be honest, between the two sides for the first few minutes, but it's Huddersfield that come up with the first score of the half. Deep in the Toulouse half, they get the ball Huddersfield, and the ball finds its way on the 5th tackle to Theo Farge, who receives the ball and puts in a delicious kick across the posts for Joe Wardle to go in and score his first try of the night. He had taken a couple of bangs beforehand and was feeling it now. After Hickey Hefo enters the field and is held up underneath the posts and told to go back and play the ball, a Junior Paolo penalty forces Toulouse to lose a couple more points, as Ollie Russell adds a couple of extras from right in front. Not long after, Joe Wardle goes back in again. He gets the ball on the left edge after a scrum in the Toulouse 20 metre, and he powers past Armitage and grounds the ball. Russell adds the extras to make it 30 points to 10 to Huddersfield. But after a Toulouse restart the game with a short kickoff immediately, they are penalised for offside just in their own half, and Huddersfield take full advantage as they move the ball right and find Chris McQueen in a gap, and the former Origin star scores underneath the sticks. Russell adds the 2, and it is now 38 points to 12. Yes, 38 points to 10. Sorry. Now Huddersfield are in the pomp. A bit better throughout the second half as they were able to get on their front foot. That's mostly because of Toulouse not letting them be involved. Not being involved in the game as much as we would like. So Huddersfield are back in the 30-metre line of Toulouse, and the ball's in Tui Lolahia's hands, who passes it out to Ollie Ashot-Bolt, who sells a dummy on Zigo, and he waltzes in underneath the posts for another score to Huddersfield. Again, Russell adds the extras, and this means that it's the 42 points to 10 scoreline. Then we're coming close to the end of the game, and it seems like Huddersfield have took the foot off the gas a little, and Toulouse find themselves up on the Huddersfield try line. After some messing about at the play of the ball near the Huddersfield line, Robert Hicks, the referee, decides that Elwar Pelissier should take the 3rd tackle again, and needs to be taken again because it's scruffy and he hadn't restarted play, which turns out to be a benefit for Toulouse as they ship the ball right, and it is left to Guy Armitage to force his way over for the try. Unfortunately, Hankinson misses the extras, and that's the final score of the game, which makes the result 42 points to 14 to Huddersfield. So who's my man of the match? Well, it's quite simple. It's Danny Levi. He was at the heart of everything going forward for Huddersfield. He was quick out of the play of the ball. He was a go forward man, and he created momentum for the Huddersfield team. Without his building blocks, there wouldn't be the result tonight, as Huddersfield were just as scratchy as Toulouse this evening. Toulouse, though, need a little bit of help. They need a fullback and a halfback that doesn't blow hot and cold. A Mouth, Sneed, a Luke Gale, that sort of ilk. But they can't. Even though I've announced a man of the match is Danny Levi, I have to say this. Before the game, in an interview on Sky Sports, Sylvain Hules says that Marc Garella will not play for Toulouse again. It's highly unlikely that it would happen. It's not a good thing to have this just before the season, and it could derail an entire season. They need to work and get some help in as soon as possible. There is rumours about Ollie Ashot, not Ollie Ashot-Bolt, it was Jamie Shaw from Hull FC, and hopefully, if they can get pieces in the puzzle back together, they could go one step further. They could go even better. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and also share this video worldwide. Don't know about you, but I'm exhausted after watching all that rugby league. Hopefully I've done it justice today with the scores and reviews. Stories of the day. Toulouse, hard knock life. They've got to improve and learn how to muscle up sooner rather than later. Change of mentality. Siege mentality time. Every single game. Well done to the Royal Navy for getting through to the round 4, and good luck against Batley. Hunslet Club Parkside dumping another League One side out of the competition. I'm saying another League One side has been dumped out of the competition by a North West Counties League side yet again, after Oldham went out against Lock Lane, who themselves went out today against Rochdale Hornets. What a clash for the Channel 4 game. They were excellent for showing the programme in their own way. Channel 4 did really, really well. But it's a hell of a game. Had a lot to talk about. Tell me in the comments which was your favourite game of the day. I know mine is probably, Leeds versus Warrington. No two ways about it. But anyway, thank you for watching. Remember to stay safe. All the best. And I'll see you in the next episode.